Oh, wait, she's still parking her car. She was just going to parallel park out front. We saw stories here with this child, and for the name would be...
Therefore.
Therefore? Is it clean paper here? Should we leave boss on top, or should we get a clean paper? Maybe he's boss. Boss.
How many you have sound?
How many of you have ringing or any sound in your head and ear?
What time do they hear?
So for that, this initiation for all people who have that sound and who don't yet hear it. It's your day. Yes.
Why are they?
Boy or girl?
It's a boy.
Very strong.
Right.
Oh, he's expensive. Look at he looks like a Vivekananda says you talk like that to him.
He's only what? Only five.
The original. Another. Okay. We'll prepare and then Priya should be here.
The baby but mother.
Baby with mother should come here. She is with him. He.
He can
Son.
and father here.
Okay, the whole family.
You can't home and multiply when I carry. Oh,
Chant Om Namah Shivaya
what?
and go to
When I carry.
Maybe you're on that side, maybe. I'm not sure, but you're on the camera that way, not can you just look at that?
Actually, I'm broke.
Yes.
But I don't know if it's you.
Well, you.
There's a lot of
Who are them?
Then we can just separate them.
It's so
Little teeny one with 10 strings.
Hey, a barber.
You can do this with kind of tuned to the instrument if you have to do it.
Yes.
Shivaya, Om Namah 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 Shivaya. Om
naughty. Like Krishna.
He is naughty like Krishna.
Yeah. By the Rama.
And
By.
Wise like Rama.
wise.
And for the Krishna.
Therefore he is.
Ramakrishna.
Yeah. Oh, he likes it. Look at him stand up proud.
Huh?
That's the one.
He would be known.
Very well. Oh, he says, as though he recognizes the whole thing. You ready,
Right.
one? He knows everything, doesn't he? Ah, boy, I've been waiting for this. That's what I came for.
Hey, Father.
For the video, look at this.
Father.
Wise and naughty, he sure is.
I'll pin it to my cheek, Guruji.
Daddy.
Hey, fiber. Hi. Omkaram. Omkaram.
Happy with your new name?
He,
For the subject to
Hey,
meet
hey.
yet?
you, mother.
Looks like mother.
Omkaram.
The reply?
Why you in young? Why you eat food? Why be so body?
When you hear this music vibrate your body
Why everywhere?
and the atmosphere,
For God, Omkaram.
it is called Omkaram.
Why you feel? Will in you
When you feel its waves in you,
from more.
from the external universe.
Mommy?
How do feel back whole from whole universe?
When from the whole universe you feel
Back by me.
the vibration returning back
By more.
back and forth.
I say I am God.
This is Rarankaram.
Trying to pay for our high.
When you feel the ocean of light,
The God fully head.
that is called Jyoti Niranjana.
And
Jyotir Niranjana?
Jyoti Dharma. Jyoti head.
Jyoti Niranjana.
And how that had it. Oham. Oham.
Isn't that last? Did we miss something?
Oham.
Soham and Sa. Oh.
I am dead. You feel I am not this, I am dead.
You feel I am not this, I am that.
I am godly.
I am Godhood.
Ah. with God.
Always with God.
Then Om,
And Satyam
Satyam, Asatyam.
or Satnam.
Final beyond,
And you've gone beyond.
even the music.
Gone beyond even this music.
I feel Satyam.
That is Satnam or Satyam.
Who will heal up you have children.
And you will feel you have
Final feel very music. Final hear.
when you hear inner music.
Oh. Now on,
From now on,
should full
your
practice
practice
will be harder,
will be
harder.
successful.
Chandal. Omkaram, 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 Om.
Omkaram, 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 Omkaram.
Omkaram, 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 Omkaram.
Omkaram, 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 Omkaram.
Good. Yeah.
Satyam Shivam Sundaram, Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
Satyam Shivam Sundaram, Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
Satyam Shivam Sundaram, Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
5 minutes for your body. Now you are giving from
Now you are
giving
receiving from the atmosphere.
charan charan.
Rarankaram.
Message on I am beyond the body and mind.
Meditate on I am beyond the body and mind.
And hear sound.
And listen to this sound.
Sound is flying saucer.
Sound is your flying saucer.
Oh hum.
So hum.
Soti Saranam.
Jyoti Niranjanam.
When you are very calm,
Then you are very calm.
Satyam Kyam Mundaram.
Satyam Shivam Sundaram.
Beauty,
Truth,
the beauty
beauty,
and love.
and love.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudadate Purnat Purnamadaye Purnamevavati Dade Om Thandi 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 Om Whenever you have time,
Whenever you have time,
listen
listen to this sound, correct?
and whenever you have not time,
Whenever you don't have the sound,
meditate on breathing
then meditate on your breathing
and basically feel home
and mentally feel Om
in and out.
with your breathing in and out.
Whenever you have time, pretty palm garment.
Whenever you have time free from the office,
So 5 minutes
go into private
and pass your breathing.
and watch your breathing.
Whenever you have your moment
Whenever you have no private place to go,
and
then
bathroom,
pick up any washroom and breathe.
why not? Why not live without breathing?
You can't live without breathing or
Any questions?
Any questions?
When I work, I get that high-pitched ringing sound. Is it okay to use that in my work?
Why not?
Why not?
One find how mind here. I have
One half of our mind lives here and the other half lives out here.
but whole body.
But the whole body,
Sometimes get here.
sometimes you may feel it in your left
Not full.
ear. That is not good.
Whole head.
Immediately bring it to fill your whole head, and then your whole body, and then the whole space.
Because I sounded one of the you from him.
Because that sound is the mother of radio waves.
You will feel very happy.
You will feel very happy.
When you heard we down,
When you hear this sound,
hard, holy book, who are humble, our book.
then you are above all books, including holy
Holy.
books.
Because who have none power but in past time.
Because you have done your work in past life.
You can teach, you can teach,
You can read
you can buy,
these books to certify
go heaven.
your own experience.
I buy no need.
Otherwise, no need.
Any questions?
Any questions? Oh, sorry.
And when you hear the sound, then the colors usually go away?
Hi, my word,
Why do go away the colors?
hi, not the mother.
They don't bother the sound.
What me?
The colors we need.
For you have one,
You had no color,
nobody.
no beauty.
No
Beauty.
Ah,
No, it's nice to do both together.
only random.
Jyoti Niranjanam is the universe of light.
Hi, here, for you, who now, hi,
The ocean of color.
So it's good to, nice to do both.
huh? No tea, just magic.
No need to do anything, it's automatic.
No limited, no immediate.
No imagination.
Ah, bottom
It's automatic.
for you not see, that
If you do not see colors,
there could be night, and silent.
then remain silent.
Ah, the 4 minutes,
Don't imagine anything though.
automatic.
It's automatic.
I can.
Yes. Sometimes I see around a lot of light like this anywhere. Yeah.
So,
Jyoti Niranjan?
all,
That's the aura.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's not. This one is a round of light on the wall anywhere.
A round spot of light anywhere.
Yeah.
I anywhere. I hear, here, out.
Anywhere, in or out. It is
It is.
All.
aura.
Our.
And then when the sound goes away, what do we call that? And are we supposed to be able to bring the sound back at any time?
If you are right,
You are advised
you read my book.
to read my books
Very
carefully, diligently.
The not.
It will answer many questions. The Nadi Yoga book, Guruji tells people to read 10 times. It's so condensed and full of information.
Is it good to do pranayamas for that? Or the pranayamas go together with that? And another one.
Mine. Do it.
Together, the sound, the breathing, the pranayama.
Not new. Breathe.
They're not two. Breathe,
You not new.
but do not do.
Breathe. Why not having? Breathing.
Breathing is going on already.
Breathe.
So breathe.
Breathe.
Feel it.
How about closing the ears?
No thing. So, five here, down,
When you hear the sound,
here, medicated.
listen very carefully.
Five, give me five medicated. Hand, penny,
When very,
headed,
very,
headed.
very clearly,
No. That do not need.
When you hear it very clearly, you don't need to plug your ears. They help.
Why you have nothing
You're
else?
not hearing the sound.
Then
Try closing your ears.
the car. Car.
It's like a cork, putting cork in.
I have
Oh, put
many.
cork in even?
I have many.
Many ear corks.
If you can't stop that,
Or you can drop oil in your ear and put cotton in
huh?
for the time.
But when you have hearing out, you need.
But when you have a clear sound, who needs
No need.
paraphernalia? Anything.
In he really
In the
died.
Spanish Bible edition,
Died.
rendition, it's called, that current is called the light.
Bia,
Priya.
you have the Bible?
Yes, downstairs.
Alia.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made
Minor.
by Him, and without Him was not anything that was made. In Him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.
Hey,
The Gospel according to St. John.
I have to happy.
Uh-huh. This was written before that. Okay. The Gospel according to St. John, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. And the Word
Body
was
meaning of bird.
What is the meaning of word?
He nhan mouth.
It doesn't mean word by mouth.
He meaning he
In the beginning,
body meaning from him. Body meaning of him.
what is the meaning of the beginning?
They got more created.
At that time was before creation.
Sao? The mouth. He had no mouth.
Before creation, there was no mouth to speak a word. There's nobody to have a mouth. Verse 2, the same was in the beginning with God. Number 3, all things were made by Him, and without Him was not anything made that was made.
Body line of energy.
What is the sign of energy?
Vibration.
Vibration.
Down.
Vibration produces sound. In Him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not.
Why do you mean? How only darkness.
Not only does not mean physical darkness,
But I have to not silence.
not only darkness does not comprehend light, but light itself does not comprehend light.
When I body mean.
Then what is the meaning of what's written here?
Psychological psychic.
Refers to psychological darkness,
It's for
comprehended
light.
it not,
Yes, right.
and spiritual light.
Right. But I might no meaning.
Otherwise, there's no meaning.
The
Light
psychic
shining
is not understand anything.
That light does not understand anything. It doesn't know it's on, even. The light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not.
Hey. this tiny book
This tiny book
tell you everything.
will give you everything.
The moment you see,
The moment you read this,
whole life will change.
your whole life will be changed.
If nothing,
If it's not changed,
just hand me.
then tell me.
Hey, money back.
I'll give you your money back.
Okay.
It's $2.50.
With penalty.
I'll give it back to you
With penalty.
with a penalty charge. Not to you.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like this is the topic tonight with all this laughter, but anyway. First time ever read Birge's new article entitled The Holy War.
Holy bar.
Holy War. Or fighting.
Is that H-O-L-Y?
H-O-L-Y. Fighting is the nature of the thinking mind. Many people say that they do not like the Srimad Bhagavad Gita because it contains the story of fighting. I am telling you, excuse me.
Uncomfortable. I hate it. I know.
It's really uncomfortable, but you'll enjoy it. Zafu. Is that what you said?
Unbelievable.
From the very beginning, I don't want to block anybody. This is extremely uncomfortable.
He's coming behind your back.
Okay. Fighting is the nature of the thinking mind.
Well,
You can't lay down.
no, you can, maybe.
Lay down
You can sit
here.
down over there. You can do yes, yes, we can go on. Okay.
Because you'll be upstaging all the story of Ganesha's. No one can listen to fighting with a laughing baby. It's just not possible.
It's everything, yeah.
He's too happy for this topic. Here you go. Just not there.
See?
What is
This is,
say?
the screen should
Hey,
see
see?
Russian chocolate.
Hey, baby.
For the baby?
We want
Wanna
the
put it in
baby.
The baby.
Every mother, father.
Get it to him too. Show the two-day whole thing. That mother's going to be enjoying very much. Okay, do we believe it's time for the topic of fighting now? It just doesn't seem natural tonight. Let's see. Holy war, or fighting. Fighting is the nature of the thinking mind. Many people say that they do not like the Srimad Bhagavad Gita because it contains the story of fighting. I am telling you the Gita teaches fighting of righteousness against unrighteousness. When you fight by fair means on both sides, then that fighting becomes like a game. What are our games? Our games, our sports, so on and so forth, are nothing but fighting between opposing parties. After fighting, the victorious party gets the reward of winning the fight.
Without fighting, you cannot say them every morning.
We all know that without fighting, you cannot get up in the early morning. Therefore, for the body and thinking mind, fighting is our birthright.
You won't be
You don't believe that?
the animal.
Then ask anybody. The body is born with fighting, that is to say, with labor pain for the mother and the baby both. Can you avoid this type of fighting? Our growth from childhood till old age, what was that? Full of fighting with every step. Our school is mental fighting. No doubt working is fighting because you work against your desire. And our church going, it's full of fighting because of the teachings of guilt and sin.
All over.
All-
Again over.
Again and again.
We walk back out in it.
You are a first-class sinner. As a matter of fact, you cannot become a truly religious man or woman until you learn to fight with other religions. By fighting, we impose our ideas forcefully on others, the blind leading the blind. It has already been told that fighting for righteousness and against unrighteousness is not an easy job, because then you have to know the meaning of righteousness and unrighteousness. Unless and until you know what righteousness is, so long you are blind. That is to say, you do not have the light of awareness, of I am. If you
Same topic.
Same topic?
Again over again.
Over again and again and again. If you go into a dark room, you cannot know what is right and wrong. To know right from wrong, you need the light of awareness. And when you see with that light, then nobody has to tell you what is what and who is who. Then you understand right from wrong by the light of awareness in meditation. When we have no light of awareness, then we are blind, and so long we cannot know by any means what is truth and what is untruth. Right and wrong are also according to time and space. The same thing once is right, and another time it is wrong. For example, you cannot wear the clothes from your childhood when you are grown up. And be sure, when unanimous love is missing between husband and wife over the children's behavior, and the ruling force is conflict, then in this case one parent must leave, otherwise the children do not learn proper conduct and education.
Here is person man. However, alcohol.
Here, alcohol.
I important custom.
Social custom.
But India,
But in India,
God thing.
that it's called a sin. Drinking alcohol is a sin. In India, here a social custom. Now, to facilitate your understanding of this complicated subject of fighting, I want to narrate an anecdote. There was once a religious school for the blind in a certain city in India. And there, by chance in that city, the circus arrived. As you know, the circus has many animals, among them the most powerful being the elephant, tiger, lion, monkeys, and chimpanzees, so on and so forth. And the blind people wanted to go to the circus to see all of those charming animals. But wise people advised them, you cannot see all of the animals because anyway you are blind. You know, howsoever powerful your TV is, that powerful TV becomes a radio for a blind man. Therefore, the wise men advised, it is best to visit just one animal. That is to say, why not the most royal, the elephant? And if you have thoroughly explored the elephant, then you have seen all animals, because the elephant is the king of the animals. But now they had one question: how can each and every blind man see the whole animal? Anyway, all the blind men and women accepted the advice, and ultimately all the blind people from the school visited the circus. You know it's difficult for the blind to see the whole elephant from the head to the foot. You know it. So the organizers invented a planning so the blind people could see the entire elephant, and that was some blind men rubbed their hands on his head and face, some on his ears, some on his tusks and trunk. Some rubbed his belly, some felt his legs and feet, and some his hips and tail. And after examining the elephant, the blind men had their meaningful conference and their judgment of what the elephant was. In conclusion, the group which had seen his legs began to tell that the elephant was like a strong pillar of a house. The group which had seen his head and face gave their report: the elephant is like a storehouse or a silo where animal grain and food is kept. For those who had seen his ears, it was very clear the elephant was like a big fan. While to those who saw his trunk and his tusks, they said the elephant is most amazing, a big, elastic pumping syringe. But those who had seen his belly and chest, they saw the truth. For them, it was a mountain. But for those who had seen his tail, they knew the elephant was really a flexible broom. Ultimately, all the blind men began to fight because they all had a direct experience, and each was certain he was right. Finally, some wise men advised them, if you add all of your experiences and findings together, you will understand the elephant. But for that, the blind need to have eyes. Otherwise, they have to believe. When you meditate, then what do you get? The opening of the third eye. Then you are no more blind, because you can see the whole elephant, all parts united together. Otherwise not. As long as we do not have the eye of awareness, so long our fighting even has no meaning. Whether we call it political, religious, a jihad, or crusade, the name makes no difference at all, because after all, we are still blind. To remove our blindness, to open our third eye, we must meditate. And when we have the third eye open, automatically we see what is right and what is wrong, who is who, and what is what. Also, sometimes you can save a blind man by telling him of a dangerous spot before him. Still, this works only for the time being, because he has no eyesight of his own. When you do not have your own experience, especially beyond the third eye, you need someone's guidance. But when you have your own sight, beyond the third eye, you do not need anybody's guidance. Then you know what is what and who is who. You know right from wrong. When you see a bridge over the river, then you walk safely over the bridge. But when you're blind, you need some man to guide you across. In the same way, when your third eye is not open, then you need a proper guru who can provide the opening of the third eye, so you can then cross the ocean of birth and death. Our whole life is overcoming the pressure of magnetic gravity by levitation. This is the meaning of life, to overcome magnetic gravity by the force of levitation. We are always busy with a tug of war. Sometimes we're victorious, sometimes we're defeated, sometimes we are neutral, without defeat or victory. This fact is well shown in our life by the example of our blood pressure. The forces of the atmosphere are like the pressure of 3 elephants on our body, while the forces of life overcome that pressure. Otherwise, you could not get up, or walk, or talk, or do anything. Now remember, some men have the nature of obsessive-compulsive fighting, without any rhyme or reason. Be careful. Although they understand their fighting is reasonable and logical and leading to absolute truth, they are absolutely wrong. Once there was a shopkeeper. He had very fine obsessive-compulsive habit to fight with his customers. For that purpose, to assure good fighting, he marked the items in his shop up 100 times their actual value, and people knew his habit, so they would come just to fight with him. And ultimately, they would get the thing which is marked for $200 for just $2. Very satisfying. But it happened one day. A foreign customer came. He purchased all the items for the price with which they were marked without a fight.
He was shocked.
He was shocked. The shopkeeper was shocked. He got lots of money, but he was robbed of his opportunity to fight. And for this he was repenting, and he became sick by the end of the day. He had had no opportunity to get rid of his neurosis and psychosis. By the way, do you know that all of our meetings, including our Parliament and Congress House, our business meeting, our board meetings, so on and so forth, they are all for the purpose of obsessive-compulsive fighting, so that we can get rid of the neurosis and psychosis hidden in our mind. Did you know that? If you don't believe it, then watch TV, hear the radio, read the newspaper. You know, somebody was asked, what's the purpose of marriage? And the man who was very wise told, the purpose of marriage is to fight, to get rid of neurosis, psychosis for both parties. One day somebody asked, what is the purpose of marriage? And the wise man answered, the purpose of marriage is to fight, to get rid of neurosis and psychosis for both parties, husband and wife. Otherwise, they become mentally sick. Dogs, donkeys, and horses, they get rid of their neurosis by barking, braying, and neighing. Jackals and wolves get the same thing by howling. What about babies? They get rid of their tension by crying. So you remember that shopkeeper? He was feeling psychological frustration and psychological constipation. So, when he was on his way back home that day, he found a very big banyan tree on the way. As you know, a banyan tree has many offshoots and roots hanging down like very stiff hair. So he tied his beard to some strong hanging root of that tree, and he began to turn his face and shake his head this way and that way, from right to left and left to right, as if that same customer was standing before him and they were fighting out that price. He used 2 voices, one his own and the other for the customer, and he said, my cloth is very costly. You cannot get this type of cloth anywhere. And he changed his voice. I can't get this cloth anywhere, not even in heaven. I tell you, I can't give you so much money. He shook his head back and forth forcefully and violently. He shook his head neck to right as if he were doing hatha yoga exercises of the neck in rapid succession. As a matter of fact, he ended up shaking all the vertebrae in his neck, and he began to feel great pain. But that was okay, because all the neuroses were gone for the time being. Although he had physical pain in his neck, he did not mind that at all. If you kill anybody in society, it's a great sin, and for that, in court, you might get capital punishment or life sentence in jail. But if you kill somebody in the military, you get a reward, nationally and politically. If you kill others in the name of God, it is called a holy war. I'm asking you, what is the difference between holy war and the kingdom of terrorism? Behind all terrorism, look carefully, and you will find the great hand of religion. I have not seen any terrorism which was not organized by some fanatic religious group. In short, our life is full of fighting in every step of time and space. Wherever you go, whether earth or heaven or hell, our holy books describe that heaven, just like earth and hell, is also full of fighting between the devas and the daityas, the angels and devils, between the citizens of heaven and Satan. If you want to avoid fighting, you must meditate on absolute Godhood in the form of I am beyond the body and mind. Otherwise, there is no hope. You become like that patient who had broken his arm fighting with his wife. And after he had a cast put on his arm, he asked the doctor, when will I be okay enough to get this cast off and hit her again? For our mind, there are two choices open. Either to express our feelings and truth, or to suppress them. But both ways are wrong. When you express your feelings and truth, you may create heart failure for others. This way, ultimately, you suffer your whole life from guilt consciousness and anxiety. When you suppress, then your whole body, including all organs, especially the heart and brain, become out of order for good. Therefore, neither way is easy. Those who live the life of body and mind, howsoever intelligent they may be, yet they fight because of their identity with body and mind. But after meditating on I am, beyond the body and mind, our whole life becomes a drama, a Ram Leela. When your life has become a drama, a divine play, then you cannot suffer, and you can discharge your duty and responsibility with great happiness. We need both suppression and expression, sometimes one, sometimes the other, according to time and space, cause and effect. That can only be done if you are meditating on I am beyond the body and mind. No matter whether birth, old age, any accident or calamity, no matter whether physical, mental, or spiritual suffering, then and then alone, you become permanently blissful. Om Shanti, Shri Brahmananda Sarasvati, November 15th, 1987.
Any question?
When do you write these stories, Guruji?
Really?
Like early in the morning or in the car on the way there?
He did.
This has been ready for 3 days, but in the computer, sitting quietly.
But when you write in the morning?
Hey, I cannot write. It's not made by me.
It is not written by me,
I'm a guy.
but by
I
somebody
cannot
else.
I wondered if it was like after your own meditation.
write. Sometimes. Yeah. A tiny one by me. I'm not writing.
The writing is done by me, but I'm not the writer, so it just depends when sometimes is.
Any question? Other?
Other question?
You have any question? Huh? Oh.
When you're arguing about a check, or you're arguing about something like the money in the shop, is it ultimately that you're dissatisfied with your body or your mind?
How many here?
Something's left out?
Ah, between five husband.
Between wife and husband?
Ah, funny here.
You must have asked the right question.
Ah, funny here.
Maybe, sometime, when does the typing happen? Is
Ah,
sometimes. Okay, I read everything that was here.
really funny here.
Okay, then my mistake is elsewhere. No, I can't locate it right now. If it wasn't here.
To be continued.
How did it go in birthday?
What was your question?
If you're fighting about something between husband and wife or shopkeeper and customer, and it's a thing, are you saying that ultimately if you're attached to the I am, either body or mind, that is the ultimate reason?
Oh, no. When you fight
When you fight
between husband and wife,
between husband and wife,
a pretty morning
it's very important
issue. On the morning, time you think
on your children. That was their question.
I have
You didn't
none.
hear. Would you like me to repeat
No.
it?
Hey,
Yes.
Be sure when unanimous love is missing
No.
between husband and wife over the children's
lady,
behavior.
holy.
Be sure when unanimous love is missing between husband and wife over the children's behavior
And educated.
and education. And the ruling force is conflict. Then in this case, one parent must leave. Otherwise, the children do not learn proper conduct and education.
Who then become child?
Then the children become
Child.
Divided?
no
No, child.
toilets,
Oh.
in which the parents dump their everything.
Behavior and education.
I farmer whole life.
And they suffer the whole life.
Who knows he not easy.
No doubt it is not easy,
But one man is husband.
but one man is responsible.
Any confidence.
Any other questions?
I find it distressing that I can sit and meditate in human sound and even have the sound when I'm talking with other people, but I notice that when the sound isn't there, I have great conflict sometimes with people, and it distresses me.
I will find it online.
If you meditate on I am,
Beyond the body and mind.
beyond the body and mind,
Whole body become karmic TV.
then your body becomes a cosmic TV,
And mind become electricity.
and your mind becomes like electricity,
Who radiate up.
and you radiate love. Until, unless
one body ready.
one party is ready,
Tell me,
crazy.
I'm not dying many man.
I'm not talking about with crazy men or women,
The tiny 9%.
but otherwise 99%
to 19, you won't find it.
It is your kindness
Said it. Sign it and jump.
and love
Said it.
which radiate
All people.
on everybody,
Has to be on most memory.
especially on your family.
But we did not do this.
But it's not
You did.
too late.
For fighting.
Therefore, before marriage,
Body to be done.
planning should be done.
Not problem.
Oh, about children's education and common views.
I remember the story of the couple that didn't have a child that were fighting over his
Ifs and
education.
buts. I might almost have it in my
Any question of that?
What does Satyam Shivan Sandaram means?
Satyam Shivam Sundaram,
Absolute truth,
absolute truth, Satyam,
absolute beauty,
absolute beauty,
absolute self.
Sundaram, absolute love, Shivam. Shivam.
Body command absolute and self.
What is the difference between absolute love
Salvation.
and relative love?
Father, love cannot be without hate.
Relative love cannot be without
Hate.
hate,
Hate.
like two ends of a stick.
The move to the mind you come,
The moment you come,
the mind you come, the mind you
a
come.
man who loves,
You have to hate.
you also have to hate.
Hate. Amen.
Like a pendulum.
Hate. I'm not talking
But I'm not talking about that type of relative love.
By that, I know opposite.
My love has no opposition.
In God.
It is God.
Has put Satyam Samam Sundaram.
Therefore, Satyam Shivam Sundaram,
Absolute Sam,
absolute love,
absolute truth,
absolute truth,
and substitute,
absolute beauty,
no harmony.
with no opposition.
Has the beauty and intelligence.
I'm sorry.
Harmony
Beauty
and intelligence.
and ugliness, those are opposing forces.
Truth and untruth.
Truth and untruth are dual.
I'm not talking that attitude.
But I'm not talking about that type of feeling.
Everything happens
Everything happens
automatically.
automatically.
You cannot do anything.
You don't have to do anything.
Hey, behind Adam,
Listen to Nadam.
hey, he knows I am.
Sit down and feel I am.
Hey, he's very man. What do you need?
It depends what you need.
Behind heaven, in heaven,
In an airplane,
what do you need?
what
Visa,
do you need? A visa?
vision, ticket,
A ticket?
passport,
And a passport.
and mental teeth, mental teeth,
And
mental teeth,
a window seat.
and visa.
And enjoy.
But did not more go to fight. You did not do a job.
It's not your job to fly the plane.
Everything.
Automatically.
who same way
If you don't believe,
ask me,
ask me.
automatically you cannot do anything.
Automatically, you cannot do anything.
Automatically going out and up.
Automatically, you will be going up and up.
And automatic stop.
And you will feel automatic love.
Absolute stop.
Absolute love.
Because you are that.
Because you are that.
Without my name.
Without any opposition.
You are that.
You are that.
But you will always be forgotten.
But you have forgotten.
What is our problem?
What is our problem?
It's not sin,
Our problem is not sin,
and
not hell.
not price of money,
It's not lack of money.
of job,
It's not lack of a job.
and short age,
It's not old age
accident,
or accident.
that I will start you party from problem.
Then I'm asking you, what is our problem?
And heaven,
Is it hell or heaven?
not, you can transform you heaven.
You can transform even hell into heaven.
You won't believe,
If you don't believe that, then see the USA.
Born only 420. Both morning candy.
Before the 14th century,
I got my kid.
America was
Big. I
it was just cave life.
kid. Kid.
Cave? No.
Cave?
Huh.
That's what I said.
The man went become on the commit.
People were living in caves.
How will I have it?
Now we have heaven and high rises and things like that.
I was paid.
Before it was caves.
Me become I family. Native.
Native Americans
We
were living with the earth in caves.
Cliff dwelling.
Many will argue the opposite, turning heaven into hell.
Our problem is
He are
that we are disconnected
Ham, how to time
from absolute I am.
by 5 years.
When the light is connected,
Hit 10 years
when the light is disconnected
from electricity.
from electricity,
Then not work.
then it does not work.
Him and me,
In the same way,
he are hit.
we are disconnected
We become children.
and we have become robots. And radios.
Why minute? When it minute on high end.